ladies, and welcome to my channel. My name is Aisha, aka Nurse Aisha. Today I'm here to celebrate with you a very special day, the International Nurses Day. Now let's take a minute to celebrate, to think about all the hard-working nurses. I want to celebrate all of you. And today, this specific day, we celebrate this day because it's also the anniversary of our peer, the birth of Florence Nightingale, the lady that held up that light for us to make sure that our career, our nursing work matters. If you like more of this content, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. So I'm going to talk to you today about my journey of how I became a nurse, why I became a nurse, how long it took me to become a nurse, and everything that inspires me about the career as a nurse. I'm so excited because this is when I can talk more about how my career has evolved throughout the years. Now, I have worked as a nurse for 12 years, since 2011, and I simply love it. I love it, I enjoy it, and I wouldn't change it for anything, nothing else. And that is after I really hesitated and didn't want to be a nurse. But here I am, 12 years later, I'm enjoying it, I'm evolving in my career and just excelling. So like I said, I have 12 years behind me as a nurse, and I've done it all. I've been in geriatrics. That was actually my first job. I've worked with palliative care. I've worked within urology, colorectal surgery, primary care. I've done a lot, basically. I've done a lot throughout my career, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And between that, I also managed to get a master's degree in public health, which got me into clinical research nursing. And that was amazing. That was really something that I enjoyed. It wasn't for a long time, but I still really had I had an eye opener as a clinical nurse. And there's not many people or many nurses that think about working with research, but really we're needed within research because nurses, we are the backbone of the healthcare system, and we're needed in all sectors of the healthcare system. Always remember that when you are looking for a job, because as a nurse, the sky is the limit. Now, let me tell you more about how I have evolved in my career. So what inspired me to be a nurse? I did many other jobs before applying to study as a nurse. Here in Sweden, it actually takes 3 years to get your bachelor's degree in nursing, but I hesitated for a long time. And this is because everyone told me that I could make a good nurse. So obviously, as a teenager, as a young adult, I didn't want to do that. It was too easy. So obviously, I wanted to do something else. I wanted a job where I could, wear lipstick and high heels and a suit to work. So I studied economy in gymnasium, which is college or high school here in Sweden, gymnasiet. And after that, I was kind of lost. So I wanted to travel, but as I was working different jobs, I worked as a personal assistant. And that basically started the snowball effect with me. My work as a personal assistant required me to learn a lot of medical stuff that I was really not ready for. But that inspired me, really. I got curious and I got good at it. So that led me to start applying. And the process was long. So it took me a couple of years before I actually got accepted into nursing school. But after that, it just came naturally to me. Okay, so working as a nurse can be really challenging, both physically, mentally, and emotionally, and sometimes all the above at the same time. So it really drains you, but it's very, very rewarding when you get over the barriers and the challenges. It's really, really an amazing career. All right, so the challenging part, number one, could be the workload. As nurses, we have a lot of work to do. But what you need to remember about this is that it's a 24-hour job. So if you don't have time to do whatever is on your schedule, the next person on the next shift can take that burden away from you. You don't need to feel as though you have to do everything by yourself. It's a 24-hour care most of the times at every unit that I have been working at, which is a 24-hour, except for a primary care clinic. But usually it's a 24-hour care where somebody else can take the workload off of your shoulders. So don't feel as though you have to do anything. So the next challenge is usually shortage of staff. This is very common. Almost everywhere that I've worked, we're usually short of staff, which is really sad because there's so many new nurses, but there are reasons for that, which I will not get into. But that is the case in many places. This is where rental nurses come into the picture. These are nurses that can be rented for that period of time when there's shortage of staff. And it's very important sometimes for both us as nurses, but also for quality of care for patients, that there is enough people, enough nurses to take care of these patients. So make sure that you are in a place where you're catered for in case there's shortage of staff. So another challenge that could be very heavy is demand control support theory. It's actually a theory that was created to measure the workload in any workplace actually. But with us working as nurses, the demand control support can be a lot. This basically means that you have a lot of demand, but very little control over your work and also very little support. This is also called effort reward imbalance. Now, like I said, this is a theory. If this was put really in practice in any healthcare setting that I've been in, it will be game over. We need to work in places where we are supported and where we have control over our work. This is especially for you as a new nurse. Make sure that you work somewhere where you have support of your peers, people that are your bosses, but also your workmates. It's very important that you seek that support, that you're not working and just going on routine and not really seeking the support that you need. Because like I said, our job is very demanding physically, emotionally, and mentally. How do I cope with all the challenges that come with my work? So obviously, as a new nurse, when I was younger, 25 years old, I used to party a lot. I used to think that was a way to get my energy levels up. I used to go to clubs, hang out with friends, dance all night, enjoy myself. But that is not quite what I do now, 12 years later. So what I choose to do is focus on my mental health and focus on how I work, when I work, and how I recover after work. Now, the first thing I do, or one of the things that I do that is very important to me, is sleep. I have to make sure that I get enough night sleep. Sleep is very important as a way to recover properly from work. The second thing I do is exercise. It's very important for us as nurses to build up our physique so that we're strong physically for the heavy liftings, but also exercise is for the mental well-being as well, which is needed when you're dealing with a lot of people, because nurses are known to get a lot of backlash. Unfortunately, this is usually from people that are just projecting, but also from people that are actually in pain and agony, and also maybe dealing with loss. It's very important that you are physically and mentally ready for these challenges. You cannot just brush it off. It's very important that you have the right tools to deal with whatever challenge comes your way, mentally and physically. Because at the end of the day, we work with people, and that is probably the hardest thing you can do, work with human beings, because they're unpredictable. You never know, especially people that are sick, that are grieving, that are sad, in pain, and just not in control at the moment. So make sure that you take care of yourself All right, so working as a nurse is not only challenging, okay? There's some good stuff that happens, good experiences, good feedback, memories. I have stories for days that I've accumulated throughout the years, memorable and amazing experiences with my patients that I carry with me all day, every day, all throughout my career. And this started really early. Now, like I mentioned, I used to work as a personal assistant before I pursued my career as a nurse. And I believe some of the best memories come from this time because this is where the journey really started. This is where the journey started for me. As a personal assistant, I met this amazing family and this amazing boy, Christopher. I will never, ever forget Christopher. He was the catalyst of my career. And I will carry that memory with me forever. And unfortunately, he's passed on. And this is also something that, you know, you carry around as a nurse is the loss. And you have to deal with that. I have worked with patients that have been in situations, life-changing situations. And when you meet these people, you have to be ready because you carry their stories with you. One of the experiences and memories that I have is one of my cancer patients. This wasn't very long ago. I worked at a clinic, a primary care clinic, and I met an amazing woman. She came in every month to get her monthly injections. She was a breast cancer survivor, and she really appreciated my work because you don't just come in there for an injection. You come in there, you know, to share your story. And many times I'm just not a robot. I will not be robotic about treating my patients. I will ask questions. How are you doing? Now, someone that is experiencing pain, someone that is going through chemotherapy, or is there to draw blood just for the next treatment, that's a very loaded question. How are you? And that also results to you listening to their story, their history. Now, we did not only talk about sad stuff about her treatment, she also told me some beautiful memories that she has with her family. And she managed to also get her family there. She managed to bring me her boys, and we created a bond. We got connected and we just enjoyed each other's company. And she would ask for me every time that she'll come there. And that is when those are the rewards and the perks of being a nurse, is connecting and seeing that you've made an impact, or just realizing that you've made an impact in someone's life. So these are beautiful stories, and I have tons of them. I cannot go through all of them right now, but there are some beautiful memories that I carry with me. And when I left the clinic, obviously I had to tell her that I'm not going to be here anymore. And she got me a little gift. And that was really beautiful. I actually keep the gift in my house. It's a little heart, a glass heart. What I love most about being a nurse is the diversity of my job as a nurse. Like I said, the sky is the limit. As long as you have that bachelor's degree, you can be anything. You can be an OR nurse. You can be a nurse practitioner. You could be a research nurse, a palliative care nurse, a geriatric nurse, an ER nurse, an OR nurse, oh my God, a surgery nurse, an operation, I said that already. You can be anything that you choose to be as a nurse. It's Charlie's chocolate, wonderful factory of being a nurse. It's amazing. I recommend you becoming a nurse if that's what you want. But remember, it's also a calling. So if you don't feel as though you can do the work, you can do the job, maybe choose something else, because we work with people and people are to be approached with caution. So in this chocolate factory, you can also become a digital educational nurse on YouTube, like me, because the sky is the limit. Another thing that I love about being a nurse is that it gives me a lot of fulfillment. It gives me a lot of fulfillment and fills up my mental and spiritual bank. It just makes me feel as though I've made an impact and I have some type of legacy, because many people will remember you because you've made an impact. You might not remember them by name and all of that, but usually, I mean, we get feedback as a unit, working together with doctors and occupational therapists and all of those people. So the feedback that they give usually is for the whole team. But individually, you hold sometimes, most times, a special place in your patients' hearts. My patients give me a lot of joy and good energy, especially my diabetes patients. When I see results of my coachings with them, I see results in the way they feel, the way they look, and also the blood samples show me that they've actually done the work. Their results are so much better. And when they come back, they feel it and they know it because they've made something. And they will tell you, especially what made a difference, what you said. You're probably going per protocol of what you're supposed to teach as a diabetes nurse, but there's always that something that you say that resonates with them, and that makes an impact. So that gives me a lot of joy and fulfillment, my patients. Working as a nurse, it's very important to me to maintain a work-life balance. So the way I do that, especially this year, is I'm trying to work smart. This is actually my theme of 2023, to work smarter. The way I want to do that is to make sure that I use my career to its fullest potential. And one of the things that I did, obviously, is starting this platform to work as a digital educating nurse. I felt that it was really important to make sure that the information that we have as healthcare providers comes to you on a silver platter, hopefully. And that silver platter could be me. The way that I try to balance work-life balance is make sure that I work smart, but also, like I said earlier, to make sure that I recover after a long workday. And that could include, the exercise, the sleep, but also some type of meditating and also spending time with family as much as I can, because that is important for you to just shut off from work and focus on the things that are important in your life. Usually that's key to recovery from work. For me personally, I do have tools that I use to work out the work-life balance. The first thing I do personally is pray. If you're not a praying woman or man, it's also a spiritual. If you have any type of spiritual beliefs, that is good enough if you meditate. The second thing I do is exercise. You guessed it. And the third thing I do is journaling. Now, these three things are very important to me. If I miss a step in one of them, I will feel it in my backbone. I will feel it in my head. My brain basically just gets foggy and I don't feel good about myself. My body feels saggy and just, I don't have enough energy if I don't exercise, if I don't pray and just reconnect within. And if I don't journal, put everything down on paper and just basically coach myself back to balance. Now, the way my nursing career has evolved is obviously 2013, I got my master's in public health. I didn't really do much with that, but I'm trying, even today, I'm trying to branch out and do something maybe on an international level. And besides that, obviously, yours truly has a YouTube channel. That is how I've evolved my career. Like I said, I want to take my career out to its fullest potential. The advice that I'll give to you if you want to pursue nursing is do it from your heart. It has to be a passion if you're going to become good at it. It has to be something that you're passionate about. In any career, honestly, you have to be passionate about whatever that you're pursuing. It's a very tough career. It's very draining, challenging, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So you have to be ready for this. It's not just injections and blood draws and medication. It's not. It's really working with people. I mean, when you work with a woman, you work with her entire family. She will come to you with her mother-in-law's problems. She'll come to you with her children. She will come to you with questions. You will be her shrink. You will be her nurse. You will be her doctor at the moment before you actually send her off to the doctor. You will be everything at that moment in your office. So it's very important that you are passionate about this. And if you are, I wish you the best in your career. This is the best career in the world. Like I said, nurses are the backbone of the healthcare system. Happy International Nurses Day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you press the notification bell below so that you are updated as soon as I upload a video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.